Is it cheesy to say hot diggity dog? Hot diggity dog. Sorry. We have made a sardine tin, we have made a Christmas tree, and we have made an egg, but today we are going to be taking it one step further. For our final decoration of the month, we're going to be making a hot dog. I think decorations that have nothing to do with Christmas are much more in right now than decorations that have things to do with Christmas. So join me today as we make a hot dog decoration for your tree or for all year round. We're going to make a 3D hot dog as well. It's not just some 2D malarkey. So join me today as we do just that. Let's get into it. So this week we are going to be making a hot dog decoration, but before we do, the obligatory disclaimer, I use a mixture of very professional and incredibly unprofessional methods when making anything ever. If you see something here today that works for you, that's fantastic, but if you see something that you just can't stand, that's totally fine. This is just how I chaotically make mine. So with that said, we're going to get into it. Now, I've got this, and it's not sponsored because I'm not that popular, but I've got this amazing book. Usually when you start sewing for the first time, you'll make like cushions and purses, but this has amazing projects, really exciting, really fun, that can be adapted any way we want. One of the things that it's got is a full grill set. You will need the following. I've got this selection of beautiful glittery felt paper. So it's kind of like glitter on one side and felt on the other. It makes it really easy to cut and it just adds a little nice bit of sparkle. And I'm gonna have a bit of yellow for mustard and a bit of red for ketchup, which is going to be amazing. So this is what I've got. It's really cheap, you can get it on Amazon. And then we're going to need the felt colours for our actual hot dog. Now this is sort of like a rusty orange felt that I've got, and that is what I'm going to use for the actual sausage part of the hot dog. And then I've got this, which is going to be used for the outside of the bun. It's kind of like a light brown, and then I've got more of a creamier brown that I'm going to use for the inside of the hot dog base. All the patterns you need, if you get the book, are in the book. What I've got is some basic baking sheet proof paper, and I've drawn the patterns onto it, and from that I've then cut out my felt. I've got this long rectangle here that's going to be the actual sausage, and then I've got in this darker brown these two sides here, which are going to be the side of the bun, and then I've got this lighter strip here, which is going to be the inside bit that the hot dog sits in, kind of like that. And then in a larger section of this dark brown, I've got this to go on the bottom so that it becomes this kind of like 3D hot dog bun with the sausage inside, if you can see the vision and get the vibe. So I think I'm going to begin with the hot dog itself. Now, there's a cool little neat trick when making a sausage that we're going to start first, and that is thus. We're going to get a piece of long thread, and what we're going to do is a simple, you might want to come a bit closer, is a simple, hello, in and out stitch at the bottom, and then we're going to leave a bit of length on each side with the string, and we're going to pull it, and as we pull it, it's going to bring itself into this sort of wrinkly sausage shape, and then we're going to flip it inside out and it's going to look like a sausage. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be lovely. So we're going to start with that first. So I'm going to get my needle. Ideally, the smaller the better, just so that it kind of stays as strong as possible, because sometimes if you're sewing felt and flipping it inside out and stuffing it, it can get a little bit weak. I've got my thread, and on one end where it's loose, I'm just going to tie a pretty lavish knot, because the important thing is that it retains its tightness when we pull it. Okay, so we can see the side that I've drawn on to cut out my pattern, and that's the side that I'm going to focus on and attack. Right next to the edge, I'm going to begin by putting my needle in the bottom, as soon as I can, bringing it back through and repeating that. I'm going in and out, all the way up, just pushing it through, punching it in as nice and straight as I can get that line close to the edge, and then bringing that needle out at the end, and then I'm going to pull my needle through, and it's important that you keep a little bit of length on the end. So I'm just going to cut that off. So we've got 2 bits of string on each end, and I'm going to rinse and repeat for the bottom, and here's the fun part. Come on in. So I've got my bits here, and where my knot is, I'm just going to let that come through, and I'm going to pull, and you can see, look at that. You can see how we've got that lovely thing just happening now. So it brings it in like a crease pattern. So I'm just going to get my piece of thread here and tie the tightest knot that I can possibly tie. Really get that in and just keep tying it to make sure that stays really nice and crinkled, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. So I'm just bringing my string nice and tight so it creases up, and then I'm going to tie it together just like this. And now we've got these two little squiggly bits here, and it looks a bit rough, I know that, but it's okay because we're going to flip it inside out now. So I'm just going to trim these bits down so they don't poke through, and then I'm going to flip my sausage inside out like so. And you can see, how cool is that? You can see that it kind of gives like that end of a frankfurter texture. So we've already got the base of our sausage shape at the end. This method is great if you want to add like sort of curves or circles in fabric, because it's quite hard sometimes to get those shapes. So we've already got the end of our sausage, and now all I'm going to do is simply sew up this back bit here, and as I sew it up I'm going to put stuffing in it as well so that it retains its shape, because if we get to the top and we had to stuff it all the way down, it would just be a bit fiddly to get it down. So as I sew this bit, I'm going to stuff it as well. Okay, so you join me now as I've nearly stitched up my sausage. And we've stuffed it as we've gone to give it that lovely shape. And look at that at the end. How cool does that look? It looks like an actual little frankfurter. So I'm literally just pushing the stuffing in here, in the left, out through the right, bringing it round all the way up my little sausage. And don't worry about this, because this bit isn't going to be seen anyway. It's going to be sitting in the bun. But I just wanted to make it look kind of nice and neat anyway, in case you wanted to remove your sausage at any point in time. I think that actually looks really cute as a little hot dog. That looks actually really quite accurate, doesn't it? I'm not going to bedazzle this because I think little beads and dots on a hot dog isn't appetizing, but I am absolutely gonna embellish and bedazzle the bun. We're gonna decorate this with ketchup and mustard at the end, but for now I'm gonna move on to the bun. I'm not very good with getting things symmetrical or bang on. Things are always usually quite a bit wonky when left to me. So this might be a bit challenging depending on how your mind works, but essentially we're gonna have this as the front bit and these are the sides of the bun. I wanna make sure that the point of this semicircle starts at the center of this oval, so we can take it all the way around the edges, and then it can meet the other bit of the oval on the other side. Does that make any sense? I hope it makes some sense. So we're going to start sewing that together. I've got my oval here and I've got my semicircle here, and you can see that this is the side that I've drawn on, because I'm going to sew this together first, then flip it over so we get a nicer finish. But I'm going to kind of aim as much as I can for the center part where my oval is, and I'm going to bring my needle through just like this, and I'm going to start stitching this side of the bun to the ovally center all the way around the edge. So as I go, it's going to kind of form like this all the way around, and once we've reached this part, I'm then going to attach the other side. So I'm going to just very tightly go all the way around, and then I shall rejoin you because this is tedious. I have sewn the sides together inside out, and then I've flipped it outside in, which is what we've got here now. And as you can see, I've got a little bit carried away. Once again, I've decided that the bun would look really good embellished. So that's what I've started to do. Now, embellishing is completely optional, but personally, I adore it. I'm incredibly addicted to it. I can spend hours doing it. I just think it gives such a lovely finish, and it adds a lot of texture, especially if you are making a decoration, because something with a little bit of glitz and glam that glimmers in the light is much nicer to me than just sort of like a plain felt base with nothing going on. So this is what I love to do. Now, I have a beautiful collection here of many beads that I've collected in the past. I've got 2 big troughs full. It's a problem. I use these every time I make something, and I've gone through and I've got a little bit of a collection going. Admittedly, this is a very boring colour if you think about it, like just a basic beige. Basically, I've done the best I could with the tools I have, because I don't usually buy beige, so I'm a bit limited. I've got like the occasional gold bit going on as well, because I think that's quite tasteful. So I've already done this side, and you can see I've got loads of lovely little buttons and bits. So it's all about finding the sparkliest things you can in the rough colour tones of the felt that you're dealing with. I'm going to put, actually, I think I'm going to put this nice little gold sequin on it right now, and the way that you attach sequins is quite nice and simple, so let me show you. So I'm putting my sequin onto my piece of thread, and if I was to just put my needle back through now, it would kind of sit at an awkward angle, and I want it to be flat. So I've got this here, and as well, to kind of keep it in place, I'm going to get a little bead. It doesn't have to be anything major, and I'm going to bring that down. And see, now I've got it down there, I'm going to ignore my bead and go straight back through my sequin. And there we have it. The bead keeps it knotted in place so that it lays nice and flat, and you've got a nice little bit of colour in the centre, which is how you would usually attach a sequin if you wanted to add a bit of pizzazz. Just look at that. Look at this. Isn't it just so much better than a boring bit of beige bread? The textures are just absolutely amazing. And if you can't see the vision yet, that's fine, because this doesn't look like what it's meant to look like at the moment. But sausage will go in here. It will sit like this, and then we'll have a base that we're going to attach now. But before we attach the base, I've got this piece of cardboard that's the same size as this little white bit in the middle here, this white oval. And what I've done is I've folded it in half, because the idea is it's going to support the felt so that the sausage can sit in it like so, like a bun would. But we need to basically add a skeleton to the felt and shape it a little bit. So we're going to start by stitching all around the edges and connecting this base to this bun. And when we're about halfway through, we'll stick the cardboard in so that it doesn't fall out. We're also going to stuff it so it actually looks like a bun. You find me about halfway through our hot dog bun, and now we've got a little bit of a gap left. I'm going to shove this cardboard bit in as support, and then I'm going to stuff it so that our hot dog can sit in there nicely. I'm just going to bring my bit of cardboard into it, and it's a little bit fiddly, but I'm just going to make sure it's in the right place so that it's bending nicely underneath this sort of lighter bit that we've got in the middle. So now I've got it where I want it to be as much as I can. I'm just going to begin by putting a little bit of stuffing into it so that we can see that shape start to form, and it will help us keep that cardboard in there, not wiggling about so much. I was absolutely obsessed with hot dogs growing up. A tradition for me when I get a tattoo, admittedly I've only got 2 tattoos, but when I get a tattoo I always get a hot dog afterwards as a special treat. It's become traditional, and by that I mean I've done it twice. I really want this bun to be nice and voluptuous, so I'm going to put in as much as will fit, trying to make sure that I go underneath the cardboard so that that stays at the top. Okay, something kind of like this. I think that's working wonders. We're missing one little thing, and that is the hanging that we're going to use to put it on the tree. And I've got this brilliant sparkly red wool here, which I'm going to use as my hanging. So I'm going to get a bit where there's a loop. If you found that disturbing, by the way, that I didn't use the end, rest assured I only use this to do this. I've got my little loop here, and I'm going to secure it at the end by tying a little knot, and I'm gonna put the knot in the middle of my hot dog bun here, so that when I sew this shut, we've got a lovely little hanging for it to be adorned with. And as you may have seen in the egg session that we did last week, these are universal because they are not dedicated and designed for Christmas time. You can have these up all year round. If you feel like putting effort into something that's only going to be up for a month is a bit tedious, don't you worry. As I get to that hanging, I'm going to go through with my needle through the knot that we've made in the wool, just to triple check and make sure that that is secure and will stay in, because the last thing we want is for it to be too heavy for the hanging and it coming out of our stitching. See how as I pull, that just gets really nice and tight, and I'm just going to go back in just to make sure that she's in. I like to give it a little test as well, a little dangle test. That seems to be in there. That's going to be so amazing. Do you see that? That is so cute, but she's not finished. I hear you say, Luna, where's the condiments? And that's exactly what I was thinking. So as a last ditch effort to make this look like a hot dog, I'm going to add some ketchup and mustard, specifically sparkly ketchup and mustard. I've already cut out this sort of lovely glittery strip. Now this is the glitter felt that I was speaking to you about earlier, but I think we should have some mustard as well. So I'm going to cut out some mustard now. And I've got this squiggly little pattern. This might be a little bit tricky, but just place your finger down. I understand that because it is such an odd thing, it's just going to move about a lot. So just roughly try and draw out your little wiggle. You can freehand your wiggle, but I'm not very good with wibbly wobbly bits. And I've kind of got something that resembles a little squirt of mustard. Now I'm kind of just going to think about where I want them on my dog. I'm thinking, here's my conundrum here. Maybe you can help. I feel like if they overlap, does that look weird? I think it looks weird. I feel like they should be next to each other because I definitely want both of them. Is that weirder? You can't help me right now, but I don't know. Is that weirder? It's taken some deliberation and contemplation as to where I wanted my sauces to sit. But But I've come up with this sort of structure. So we've got ketchup underneath and then like a little bit of mustard on the top, because I really wanted these two colours if I could help it. And I think that's kind of like the best it's going to look. And I'm attaching it now to my sausage. I've put my thread through the bottom. Don't worry about it. You're not going to see this bit because we're going to attach it to the bun. But the way that I'm connecting it onto my hot dog is I'm embellishing. Again, shocker. If you can't see, come closer, have a look. This is what I'm doing as I embellish my hot dog. So you can see like the little glistening bits of red and yellow. It just adds such a layer of fun. I'm going to put a button on it. Onto my ketchup and mustard, just to give it that extra texture that we've given the bun. So I'm just pushing in and making sure that my needle comes out in another bit of glitter. So we've hidden all of that lovely stitching that we've done underneath the condiments. And there we go, that's the embellishing done. So the last step is to connect our hot dog to our bun. This is a bit lackluster, but the point is we just want it to connect to our bun. So using the same bit of thread that I've been using to embellish, I'm just going to lift up the dog and stab the bun and bring my needle out, and it's kind of going to be a little bit unceremonious, and I'm just going to very unneatly kind of connect this in, because the important thing is that it stays in. So I'm lifting up my hot dog while I can and just shoving my needle through, trying to keep it as much on this bottom bit as possible, and just pulling this taut so that it sits in there. Not to toot my own horn, but this is really cool, and this isn't for anybody, so I get to keep it. Which is amazing. I love how it's turned out, and I absolutely love as well how we've embellished it. It kind of just adds a bit of pizzazz that you're looking for and keeps it away from being this sort of like beige plain bun. So I really love how we've embellished that, and we've got that ketchup and mustard. But what do you think? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did enjoy it and found it relaxing in any way at all, then please subscribe and ring that bell so that you can be told when we next upload another session. I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I shall see you in the new year. Thank you so much for watching again, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.